Hachette Audio presents The Majors, In Search of Golf's Holy Grail. Written and read by John Feinstein.
One of the most popular and pointless mind games that golfers like to play is called It's Just Another Tournament. They play this game 4 times a year at the 4 tournaments that clearly are not just another tournament: the Masters, the U.S. Open, the British Open, and the PGA. Every golfer knows that if he wants a legacy that goes beyond having made a good living, he must win one of the game's 4 majors. Because winning a major is so difficult, because the pressures that are brought to bear late on a Sunday afternoon can be mentally and emotionally crippling, golfers constantly tell themselves, and anyone who is willing to listen, that it really isn't that big a deal. You know, a lot of great golfers have never won a major. Greg Norman, who has won 2 of them but lost many others, once insisted. When a listener asked Norman to list all those great players who had never won a major, Norman paused. Then he smiled and said, "Okay, a lot of good players have never won a major." Exactly. Although winning a major championship does not guarantee greatness, not winning one guarantees that you will never be considered great. Mark O'Meara knew all this. He knew that he would always be asked about not winning a major title unless he won one. Publicly, O'Meara repeated the mantra that players in his position repeat, if only to keep themselves sane. "If I never win a major, I'll still have had a very good career," he said over and over again when the question came up. Rationalizations aside, O'Meara knew that if he hadn't won 14 times on the PGA Tour and hadn't been one of the game's more consistent players for 15 years, he would never have had to answer the dreaded major question. But he had been asked the question repeatedly, enough times that he had half-jokingly said early in the week of the 1998 Masters that he would like to win the championship if only so he would never have to answer the question again. A year earlier, when Jaime Diaz of Sports Illustrated had written a piece headlined "King of the Bees" about O'Meara, he had been hurt and insulted. He believed his record was better than that of a B player, even the best B player. But deep down he knew the point Diaz was making. You could win at Pebble Beach forever. O'Meara had won there 5 times. And it wouldn't be good enough until you won on one of golf's 4 special weekends. Although it may seem that the 4 major championships have been the 4 major championships forever, that isn't even close to being the case. In fact, there is considerable disagreement on exactly when the notion of golf's current Grand Slam came into being. As recently as 1953, when Ben Hogan became the first and only man to win the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?